Live from downtown Macon, this is WGXA News live on YouTube.
Good evening, Middle Georgia. I'm Amanda Peralta.
And I'm Greg Lloyd. Thanks for watching WGXA News at 5:30.
The historic heat wave is not letting up in the southern United States. Nearly 100 million people are under heat alerts today from Nevada to Florida. The National Weather Service is predicting triple-digit highs in the desert Southwest and extreme humidity in the Mid-South and Gulf Coast. Overnight temperatures are also expected to break records, offering little relief from the daytime highs. Weather warn days have been issued by the Skywatch weather team starting tomorrow until Thursday for dangerous heat.
Meteorologist Ryan Mirando joining us from the Weather Center with the latest updates tonight. Ryan.
Amanda, we are watching for that dangerous heat over this week, so really take it slow as you're outside, but that's not the only issue we have to deal with. The smoke from the wildfires in Canada is making a comeback. A lot of haze looking out over Dublin with our Wilson Bryant Heating and Air Skycast network. Our air quality has been deteriorating throughout the day. We've been in the unhealthy for sensitive groups, so the very young, the elderly, or anyone with respiratory issues. You really do want to monitor your symptoms, as we could have the smoke really around until about Thursday afternoon with some of that hazy sunshine. The majority of us should notice a big difference, but the bigger story is really going to be about the heat. Currently 93 degrees in Macon, but here's all that heat that's setting up over the west. Triple-digit temperatures over Texas and in the deep south. That is going to be heading our way starting tomorrow for some of that dangerous heat. So weather warn days have been issued starting tomorrow and lasting until Thursday for some of that dangerous heat. This also, of course, includes values with the heat index and the feels like temperatures well over 105. In fact, Thursday looks to be the worst with feels like temperatures near 110. This could cause heat or exhaustion or stroke relatively easily. So remember to stay cool and hydrated and definitely take it slow. I'll talk about any kind of relief we get through this heat all coming up in your full forecast. Greg.
All right, it's a great time. Thank you, Ryan. To download the WGXA weather app to keep track of those high temperatures, just scan the QR code on your screen to download the free app on your smartphone. Ryan is back in less than 20 minutes with your 10-day forecast. A Georgia family is mourning the death of their loved one after she was allegedly killed by an ex-boyfriend on Sunday night. The name of the 19-year-old woman has not been released, but police say her ex-boyfriend, 20-year-old Cameron Jamichael Hopkins, is in custody.
Hopkins is accused of kidnapping the woman at gunpoint from her job Sunday night, and then he reportedly led police on a car chase before ending at a local high school. Police say they heard several gunshots fired inside the car, and they say Hopkins also fired shots at the officers' cars.
Deputies were able to fire an irritant into the car from a safe distance and take Hopkins into custody. They found the woman dead with several gunshot wounds. Hopkins will face kidnapping and aggravated assault charges. Clayton County Police will investigate the woman's death.
Bibb County deputies are asking for your help as they investigate an armed robbery at a local gas station early this morning. Investigators say the suspect entered the Sunoco on Northside Drive wearing a mask and brandishing a gun. They say he made off with an undisclosed amount of cash before leaving the scene. If you recognize him, contact the sheriff's office. A Macon woman is dead after being hit by a car in Monroe County. According to the sheriff's office, Janiyah Pitts was hit on I-75 South near mile marker 194 early Saturday morning. She had died before first responders could arrive. No one else was injured, but the investigation is ongoing.
A violent suspect wanted in Houston County was found miles away in Atlanta. Atlanta police arrested Richard Mansell last Wednesday on a warrant for attempted murder, aggravated assault, elder abuse, and more. After learning more about Mansell's whereabouts, Atlanta police set up a perimeter around where he was hiding, and they closed in for the arrest. Mansell is currently in the Fulton County Jail and will be extradited back to Houston County.
In Bibb County, investigators are working to find who is responsible for shooting and injuring a man Friday afternoon. Deputies say the 26-year-old man was shot on Millerfield Road and was taken to the hospital in a private car, where he's in stable condition for non-life-threatening injuries. He told deputies he was walking down the road when he heard gunfire and then realized he had been hit.
Bibb deputies also looking for who injured a man on Sanford Avenue in another Friday afternoon shooting. Deputies found a 23-year-old man who had been shot once. He was taken to the hospital and listed in stable condition. If you know something about either of these shootings, please call the sheriff's office or Macon Regional Crime Stoppers.
And a traffic stop in Macon County puts 2 people behind bars. Oglethorpe police say they found a hoard of marijuana after pulling over Eddie Riley and Coffee Amazu on Sunday. Officers say the smell of weed coming from the vehicle tipped them off to the issue. Both are now facing drug possession and distribution and conspiracy charges.
The nearly two-day manhunt for a Georgia mass shooting suspect comes to a deadly end.
Henry County Sheriff's Office confirming Andre Longmore was killed yesterday afternoon after coming face-to-face with law enforcement. Longmore is accused of gunning down 4 people in Hampton, and that's just about an hour north of Macon. A Henry County deputy and Clayton County police officer were injured while trying to arrest the suspected gunman. They're expected to survive.
Hampton police identified the victims as Scott Levitt, Shirley Levitt, and Steve Blizzard, along with Ronald Jeffers.
The monster's dead. The citizens of Hampton, the county of Henry, the metro Atlanta area, and the entire state of Georgia can breathe a little easy tonight. The suspect is off the street.
While investigators have not yet determined a motive for the shooting, they say Longmore lived in the neighborhood and stole Blizzard's car on Saturday.
2 Upson County firefighters are in critical condition after the fire truck they were driving flipped over, throwing them out of the truck.
Our Gloria Ruth Finney is live at the scene of that wreck. Gloria Ruth, tell us what we know about what happened.
That's right, Greg and Amanda. They're both in the ICU after being life-flighted to Grady Hospital in Atlanta. And here on Mudbridge Road, you can still see signs from where the fire truck flipped. Volunteer firefighters Logan Gordy and Trista Cheeks were responding to a call of a wreck on Rocky Bottom Road. Logan is believed to be driving the fire truck when it rolled more than once while taking a turn on Mudbridge Road, ejecting both of them from the fire truck. Sheriff David Kilgore says their conditions are serious.
The fire truck came around a curve. All indications are that Logan Gordy was the firefighter that was driving, and the vehicle lost control and overturned there on Mudbridge Road. Both driver and passenger were ejected from the fire truck.
Cheeks and Gordy are engaged to be married in October. WGXA will continue to follow their conditions and let you know more when we do. Reporting live in Upton County, Gloria Ruth Finney, WGXA News.
Thank you so much, Gloria Ruth. And the Bibb County Sheriff's Office is asking the public's help to locate this missing 20-year-old. They say Mason Holt was last seen by his family at the Macon Rescue Mission on Zebulon Road around 4 yesterday afternoon. They say he ran into the woods after becoming upset. Authorities say he may pose a risk to himself. Call the Bibb County Sheriff's Office if you know his whereabouts.
And continuing coverage on the potential rock quarry in Crawford County. Tomorrow is the last day the public will be able to speak on the proposal. Crawford County officials confirm a group out of Kentucky has applied for an exception to allow for the operation of the granite rock quarry on 1,700 acres off of Highway 80 in the eastern part of the county. The proposal calls for the quarry to operate on around 430 acres. Many residents in the area say they're concerned about the new rock quarry could affect their health, water safety, and property values.
And repairs are underway at Rose Hill Cemetery after the entryway was damaged by a driver over a month ago. Workers were outside today working on that arch while deputies are still on the hunt for the driver in a black truck that hit it back in June. Some new restaurants are coming to Perry, and it's all a part of a planned expansion.
Carlos Stevens spent the day in Perry to learn about the new growth and joins us live now. Carlos?
Well, guys, this local theater right here in Perry will be expanding, and I spoke to the owner today about what it means for Perry citizens as well as all of Middle Georgia. If you're riding through downtown Perry soon, you will likely notice a new project. It's part of an expansion plan coming by the Muse Theater, a plan to make the streets full of entertainment.
So this is our original structure, the ballroom. It's about 2,500 square foot. The plan is to kind of somewhat duplicate what we have on the right-hand side.
Part owner Chad Bryant says the expansion along Ball Street and Commerce included extending their inside bar to bring it outside, along with a host of other things, such as a rooftop bar, 5 walk-up restaurants, LED screens, sports for the kids, and more. Bryant says while they've seen success being a venue, they want to add to Perry's loving atmosphere.
You know, it's really just a family-oriented city, and we really want to be a business that's supporting that that type atmosphere.
Bryant says the estimated budget to expand the historic building is between $750,000 to $1 million. He says the plans have been submitted to the Main Street Board for approval. From there, the plan would go to the City of Perry for final approval. Bryant says construction should take about 6 months after that.
Really activating downtown Perry and keeping it active, giving things for people to do. And I just know that people are starving for that kind of atmosphere.
If all goes according to plan, the project could be finished as early as next year in spring. Reporting in Perry, I'm Carlos Stevens, WGXA News.
And a special delivery blocked off all traffic on 247 in Warner Robins last Sunday. The Museum of Aviation receiving a new plane to add to its collection. The historic E-8C Joint Stars aircraft made its way to its new home where it will be preserved for future generations. The over 170,000-pound plane made its 5-mile journey with a lot of effort and collaboration.
Well, local leaders toured a new facility in Macon today that will produce medical marijuana. The company called Fine Fettle is waiting for its license to begin operations and bring new jobs to the county. The new facility remains under construction as it awaits permission to begin the THC oil production. The company says the investment demonstrates its commitment to Macon, the state of Georgia, and to patients in need of the medicine it produces.
Threads joins a huge crowd of social media platforms. Now there's more emphasis on the question, how many is too many?
Janae Bowens joins us with a look at the saturation of social media.
About 20 years ago, we were talking about our MySpace and choosing our top 8. So many new social media platforms have been created since then. There's some people now who are fatigued by all the options.
You've got a lot of social media apps to choose from. TikTok, Threads, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, Snapchat, BeReal, Clubhouse, Blue Sky, Parler, Truth Social, and that's just naming a few.
I think it's a ridiculous amount because it gets to the point of being overwhelming.
The list of social media apps is way too long for Kalina Gaines.
I don't have time to sit here and check.
Between running a tutoring business and working on her doctorate, she's using her time wisely.
I have LinkedIn, I have Facebook, and I have Instagram. And at this point, that's as far as I'm venturing out.
According to the Pew Research Center, 72% of Americans use some type of social media. And according to Backlinko, a company that specializes in search engine optimization and links, the average social media user is active on 6.6 different platforms. Meanwhile, many are nervous about social media's impact.
The Surgeon General did sound the alarm. They issued multiple advisories recently around youth mental health and teen social media use.
A new study shows adults who use a lot of different social media channels are no happier or unhappier than others, but experts say you want to be mindful of how each app is making you feel. Reporting for the National Desk, I'm Janae Bowens.
Well, Senator John Ossoff is in Baldwin County this evening talking with local leaders there about new educational funding to help the county. The funding is nearly $2 million to expand the Head Start programs in Baldwin County. The Early Learning Center Head Start program is available for low-income families with children between 3 to 5 years of age and includes special needs children. Senator Ossoff says it's just the first step for supporting education in Georgia.
We passed on a bipartisan basis a historic strengthening of the Head Start program. And Head Start across Georgia takes a number of different forms. And what's happening here in Baldwin County, I think, is a great model where you're integrating these federal funds with your pre-K program to create not just early childhood education opportunities here in Baldwin County, but also those wraparound services.
And Middle Georgia State University is also celebrating a new grant to help tackle its own personal challenges.
Now, the university has been awarded $1.2 million from the Peyton Anderson Foundation to establish a new center for Middle Georgia Studies. Now, that center aims to tackle challenges like poverty, workforce demands, and healthcare. The concept for the Center for Middle Georgia Studies has been developing at MGA for several years.
Inspired by the University of Georgia's Carl Vinson Institute of Government, it will offer education assistance, research, and policy analysis to help public officials, community-based organizations, nonprofits, and businesses better serve the region's citizens.
Well, it's almost that time of year again, and we're talking about back to school.
I know. I used to hate this time of the year.
Me
'cause
too.
it means I have to go back to school.
During the summer, when the adults would talk about it, I'd be like, stop.
Yeah,
we
I'd be
still
like,
got
it's
summer.
not here
So
yet.
I'm sorry to be one of
Stop.
those adults.
Growing up in New York, I had until September, though, which
Oh, I'm
was really
so
nice.
jealous. Oh.
Well, there's only a few more weeks of summer vacation left before the bells ring and classes start.
Now, Houston County is making sure the littlest students throughout the county are ready with the annual Back to School Bash. It's this Friday at 3 different locations. C.B. Watson Primary starting at 10 in the morning and 2 drive-throughs at Thompson Middle and Perry High starting at 9.
More than 2,500 pre-filled backpacks with supplies will be given out. Also during the event at C.B. Watson, the district will be offering haircuts from Central Georgia Technical College barbers, hearing and vision screenings. Period supplies will be given out by making periods easier and a lot more.
And for all the parents and students in Baldwin County, the district will be hosting their annual Back to School Bash on Friday, too.
It's at Lakeview Academy starting at 11 Friday morning, and students can get a new look with free haircuts, dental screenings, and plenty of booths to set up to let families know about education resources. And that's not it. The district plans to have music and games going and really just wants students, their families, and the community to have a good time.
Well, who says summer can't be involved in learning? Fully learning. Not the Make It Transit Authority and the Middle Georgia Regional Library. The two are hosting a 2-day pop-up library. You can sign up for your library card and start checking out books or get some books of your own to keep. They'll also be giving out info on free computer classes and reading programs for all ages. One organizer says it's important to reach areas that need the free resources.
We go to underserved parts of the community, so I have different partnerships with Daybreak, Brookdale Resource Center, as well as assisted living facilities like John Wesley and Carlisle Place, and I'm there with different free access as well as different reading materials.
If you missed out on the fun today, don't worry. They'll be hosting another pop-up event tomorrow afternoon from 5 to 4 at the MTA transfer station on Cherry Street.
Have been issued starting tomorrow and lasting until Thursday for some dangerous heat. Tomorrow, the air temperature up to 100 degrees. The humidity should stay in check, so the feels like temperature not far above that. Wednesday, though, the humidity begins to ramp up. Feels like temperatures near 105. And Thursday actually is going to be the worst of the day. The air temperature 99. But the feels like temperature will be near 110, and then we get back down to more seasonable levels as we get towards the weekend. That's not the only issue that we're dealing with, though, right now. We are having some low air quality. The wildfire smoke from Canada is making a comeback. A lot of haze right now looking out over Mercer University with our Wilson Bryant Heating and Air Skycast Network. It's still very hot, and we will be dealing with the smoke for a little while as our air quality has been in the unhealthy for sensitive groups. So anyone that's very young, the elderly, or that has respiratory issues, monitor your symptoms if you're outdoors for multiple hours, really the rest of tonight and into tomorrow. That air quality is still going to be rather high. On our smoke, this is what it looks like right now. We got a lot of orange over top of us, but tomorrow it begins to slowly creep out. We're still going to have some smoke tomorrow. It's not going to be as bad as today, and then it begins to exit as we get towards Wednesday afternoon. I think really by Thursday most of the smoke will be out of here, but then the heat is really going to be the bigger story. Today, though, it was rather seasonable. Feels like 96 right now in Macon, 101 in Edenton, 92 in Dublin. It feels like 96 degrees in Hawkinsville. But the heat that's over into the west right now, there's heat alerts, heat advisories, excessive heat warnings in areas of Texas. This is going to shift our way for some of that dangerous heat. So tomorrow the humidity stays in check. That really means, though, is that it feels like temperature is not going to be that far away from the air temperature. Wednesday, though, the humidity ramps up to 106 degrees, feeling like Thursday, the highest, up to about 109, and then we get back down to more seasonable levels. Even Friday, though, is going to be a hot day, so definitely take it slow this week. Pack some water, a way to stay cool. The only really relief that we get is from some of these storms riding along this ridge of high pressure. The chances of this are pretty low. I think the best shot of getting one of these will be on Thursday, but really otherwise we're going to be dry with a lot of heat for the next few days. So some heat tips for you: never leave your kids or pets unattended in cars. They get very hot very quickly. Make sure the pets have somewhere to stay cool as well and to drink some water. You want to stay hydrated yourself. Try to be in the shade, and if you have any yard work. Try to wait for the weekend. Try to limit that strenuous outdoor activities with the heat being so high over the next few days. So for the rest of tonight, mostly clear. A little bit of that haze still out there. 71 degrees for the overnight low, and in your 10-day forecast, weather warn days for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday with that high heat. We still get a little bit of that hazy sunshine for your Tuesday. The humidity stays in check, so it feels like temperature's not that much worse. Wednesday up to about 106 for that feels like temperature. Thursday, most likely the worst day of it, up near 110. That's the best chance of getting one of those wraparound shots of some storms. Friday, though, some better chances of rain. A few PM storms around 97 degrees for the high. Saturday, a few scattered storms around 92. Sunday, seasonable 93 degrees. On Monday, partly cloudy with a high of 94. So lastly, here's your Harrison's Body Shop Fish and Game forecast. Peaks at 3:20 a.m. and 9 p.m.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. We are here again today at Bibb County Animal Services, and I'm Gary Thigpen, and I'm joined today with Tracy, and we have a special dog we're going to present to you today. And who is this, Tracy?
This is Barry. This is my sweetheart. Barry is
He is a sweetheart, too.
Oh, gosh, he's so loving. He's about 9 months old. He's heartworm negative. He is already neutered, and we believe that he's chow mix, and he is just ready to go home with somebody.
Now, what breed is he? Because he's kind of like a different that you don't really see these guys. I mean, it's just kind of different than what I've seen around.
He is. He's very beautiful. So we think that he's mixed with chow.
Mm-hmm.
So that's our best guess. He's a chow mix.
Okay. And you said about 9 months old?
Yes.
And you can see he's very, very loving, very playful, would be great with kids. So Tracy, if someone would like to adopt Barry, how would they go about doing that?
So they would just reach out to our adoption coordinator, Elvin, and number is 478-621-6774. And we'll get you in to meet Mr. Barry, and you'll fall in love and take him home the same day.
You sure will. Look how beautiful he is. He's so calm, and yet sometimes playful at times would be great with kids. So look at this. So if you want to adopt Barry, let's go ahead and get on the line and do that today. Thank you so much, Tracy.
Thank you.
Well, an unusual call from Mississippi deputies. The Forest County Sheriff's Office got a call Sunday for a camel on the loose. Clyde the camel lives on a farm with bison and zebras, but he was found strolling outside his fence. Clyde appeared to be really interested in the deputy's hat, so they used that to lead him back to his enclosure. I didn't even know we had camels on this part of the side, on this side of the world.
I know. It was like here we have camels. I didn't really know that either. That is so interesting. I couldn't even imagine if I was like driving on the side of the road and there's just a camel. I'd be like, what do I do?
What is that?
How do I react?
Well,
I'd just be like, oh, picture.
With the way things in my world go these days, if I saw a camel on the side of the road, I'd say, how typical. Because I tell you
like,
what,
how
I'm not
typical.
surprised by anything anymore. But it's neat that the deputies had, of all things, lured him back into the pen.
That was cool.
Whatever works. I mean, hey.
That's right.
Got to do what you got to do.
You got to do what you got to do.
Well, that's it for WGXA News at 5:30.
We invite you to join us at 6 on ABC 16.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you later.